Okay, so this tutorial is just to take you over using the this color, or not color palette, but this fill tool, uh, custom toolbar. Anyway, so the idea is that you start out with your line work. I've just done my line work on a separate layer. I'm going to turn off my pencil lines. I'm going to need a new image layer. I'm going to throw that in the back, and this is going to contain my fill. So I'm going to choose the this is just a shape tool. I mean, you've got the shape tool. You can just fill in like that. Let me choose a color. There we are. I filled that in. I choose the fill tool here. Whenever I click this, this brings up my filling shape tool, opens the control panel. I'm going to use the front layer, so that's basically my line work as my source. Because the thing is, if I choose to use the layer and I use the right click, see that it just takes the current layer and uses that as my well, the fill tool will just fill or erase until it hits something. So if I use my front layer, then it will, it'll go until it hits just until it hits a line work. So yeah, I set my expand to 1, my range to 70. So that gets rid of everything. So now this thing has been masked off. I'm going to go to the toolbar and lock my alpha channel because I don't want to be I don't need to affect the alpha channel anymore. Get back to the fill tool. Well, I'm still on the fill tool. And just start picking different colors. I guess I can. What I need to do is I need to create what I call the tag layer. So this tag layer is, I'm going to try and isolate things into separate objects as best I can. So there's that one. I've got the cutter tool, so I'm just going to use that to fill in any of these small little bits here that the fill tool didn't capture. So I'm just going to go through back with the fill tool. I'm trying to make sure that whenever I pick my colors, that no two colors of the same kind are touching. So I've got that one. Okay, that's not touching, so I can do on that. That's all part of the same form, so I'm going to use all the same color on that. What else? This one I'm going to have to use a different color on that. What else? Let's get that there. And I'm going to use a different color on the interior of that pant leg right there. Let's see, what else? I gotta find parts that are not touching. Yeah, I'll get that one. And what else? I'll get the interior of that. So you're just gonna go through and tag all the parts that. Let me just get my cutter tool again. I'm just gonna grab everything here. There. So that's all one piece right there. I'm gonna leave that. Okay, I'm gonna time to choose another color. So let's use a green. You want to choose? Actually, no. That's fine. You can choose whatever color you want. You just want colors that are going to be very different from one another. Let's tag those. Back to the cutting tool. Sometimes there's these little gaps and nicks that you want to capture. The fill tool doesn't go up there. What you have to do is, in order to fill those little nicks with the fill tool, you'll have to adjust the tolerance on the fill tool and increase the tolerance. And you run the risk of overfilling, and that means jumping out of the line. But that's generally not a problem with really, really fat lines like what I have here. I've got some pretty fat lines. So, okay, I'm just back on the fill tool, looking again for separate pieces to hit. Actually, I'm going to take my range and just crank that up to 255. Woo! Yeah, you see, if it's too high, then it's going to do that. You don't want that. So you're going to have to turn it maybe down to 150. Yeah, 150. Still doesn't quite catch that little pocket there, so that's why you have to go in with the cutter every now and then and get those little pockets. So I get that. picking areas that don't touch one another. Back to the cutter. I'm going to fill that little area right there. So that's a stopgap. You know, I've just put in a little stopgap. Now I can take the fill tool. I'll set my source to the display so that it obeys that stopgap. Stops right there. Actually, I think I'm going to keep this all. Yeah, I want to separate this from the rest of the jacket. And maybe I'll just I'm going to keep on going. I don't want to tag that one, but I will tag here. I'm going to tag that, and maybe I'll tag that. I'll tag that because they're made of the same material and they're part of the same form. I'll tag that because they're not touching, so that's fine. I can tag that, and I can tag that. Now I'll have to go in with the cutter again and get those little pockets that were missed. Okay. Now what else? I'm trying not to, pick too many colors. I guess I'll have to use the cutter again and put a stop gap there. Use the fill tool, tag that, take the cutter again. I'll put another stop gap in there. Probably need another stop gap here. I'll try and follow the shape of the eyeball. So that's there. I'm going to hit the fill tool and just tag those two spots. What else do I have? Oh right, I think I can tag that hand safely. So I'm going to have to use the cutter again. Put in a stop gap, fill that, tag, tag, tag. I don't see any little pockets that I missed. Oh, I see one. This is only for people who are really finicky. But you don't have to get too into it. Okay, so those areas have all been tagged. Time to use another color, so I guess, let's see, I used green already. Haven't used pink, but I'm going to have to switch to a color that is, orange. I have not used orange, and I have not used yellow, so I'm going to pick orange and yellow. Let's tag that ear. Oh, am I using the right tool? Back to the fill tool. That's why I was using the cutter. Okay, so I got that ear. Let's get that face there, there. Tag that little spot, but I didn't quite get it, so I have to use the cutter on it. And, excuse me. What else? Oh, right, duh. Let's set the source to the current layer and just there. Retag the hand. See, the reason why I use the layer mode is because if I go to show only the current layer, see that? It's isolated. So now that it's isolated, I can safely tag the whole thing, and I don't have to worry about it encroaching on other stuff. So that's one of the advantages of. Oh, except what I want to do is I'm going to turn off my expand. I'll set my expand to 0 because I don't want to actually. There. Then I can take my expand back to 1. That's good. Still going to keep on trucking. I think I can do the same thing for this one. Let me take that expand down to 0. Tag that hand. Okay. Take the expand back to 1. Think, what other colors do I have? What areas that remain untagged? I am going to have to tag that entire jacket eventually. Okay, I guess these are too close together, so I'm going to use a pink now. Oops. Set my source to the front layer. There, and I can tag that. What else do I have? Okay. Let's tag that. You see, the color choices all have to. I'm just trying to choose contrasting colors. It's not supposed to look good. That happens later. What I need is to be able to have the program differentiate one color from one color to the next. It's by no means meant to be good looking. Okay. That I can leave blue. I guess I can take that pink color and tag that. So that's the interior right there. That one's already blue, so I can leave that one alone. I can take the green here and tag that. Oops. Got to set my source to the current layer. Nope, don't want to do that. I want to use the display maybe. There we go. That did it. What else do I need to tag? Tagging is kind of a slow process because it requires a bit of judgment. And let's take the orange, tag that. I'm gonna have to go in with a cutter again and fill in these little areas that were missed by the fill bucket. Okay. Right, now I can take this pink, hit that. Oops, oh, you gotta be on the fill bucket. There. Tag those two spots. I can tag that because it's the same material. I leave the trims alone. Now I want to isolate this big brick, this surface she's sitting on, with another color. So I guess in this case I can choose something that is not some. I don't want something that's so close to black though. So I'm going to choose I haven't used a teal yet. Okay. Okay, so I think if I tag these parts, even if I use the same color, maybe I should just tag them a darker color. And maybe I choose an even darker color and tag that once more. There, now if I look at this layer, yeah, they're all separated by this border of blue, so that's fine. Yeah, okay. So I'm done my tagging. This is the tag layer. That, I'm done with that. I'm going to duplicate this this layer. I'm going to rename this tag layer tag. Okay. So that layer's been named. This one is my actual fill layer. So that's fill. Ugh. Okay, and then let's see what's next. Okay, so that's tagged. That's filled. Go to the fill layer. I'm going to lock my line layer because I don't want to mess with that by accident. So line here. I'll just bring up my. Now you can see the layers that I'm working with. Whoa. I can close this. I can close. Well, I'm going to leave this open because I need to show you what that does in a second. But yeah, okay. So I've got my fill layer is just a duplicate of this tag layer. I've hidden I've locked my line work layer, and I've hidden my my blue pencil. So there's a tag, fill. I'm going to use the cutter once more on the fill layer. I'm going to choose a desaturated. Well, hang on, wait a minute. What color do I want the trims to be? Actually, you know what? I'm just going to use a very desaturated yellow. So let's get yellow. So almost a gray, maybe even less saturated than that. So I hit the whole thing just like that. And now I'm ready to paint. So with this paintbrush, well, I got a tagger. So here's how the tagging works. I'm going to say I want to tag a fill. You click and drag, and you have to, you click and drag on this fill layer. You select the tag from the menu that pops up. You tag all the parts that you intend to paint on. So I'm going to tag. Oh, right, your selection. You're going to have to turn this on. The the first time you run it, like whenever you fire up TVPaint, the selection is going to be on. When you hit the tag fill, what happens is it toggles the selection. So in order to get that to behave properly, you might just have to hit the tag fill twice. So there, now that's working. It should show the selection now. I can click there, select my tagged layer, and I can close that now. I don't need to have that up anymore. I'm going to tag the jacket. I'm going to paint the jacket first. So I'm going to tag all these parts here of the jacket and just hit the exit tag. So now that I've exited the tag mode, I can click once more, select my fill layer. It automatically brings up the pick tool, the pick tool. I'm going to paint this jacket with the very desaturated version of, well, not desaturated, but this is the shadowed version of the yellow jacket. Her jacket's yellow. So I'm treating her jacket as if it's, in shadow. I have to choose which direction the light is hitting her. So I'm going to choose something where the light's coming from in front, slightly from above as well. So I got to choose, well, this part here, her entire head, that's going to wind up casting a lot of that into shadow. So there's only going to be a few parts that actually get lit up, and more of that will wind up, being lit up on the lower part of her jacket. So I'm going to light those few areas. I think I'll light that. And then as for the rest of it, I'm going to choose a darker. I'm going to pick this color, and I'm just going to use an even darker color. And right here where this arm is going to cause the light. You're going to get some enclosure. So the enclosure is going to wind up shadowing and darkening that region in here. There. So I've put in, a bit of a darkening right there to handle that enclosure. And also this jacket pocket here on the front, this is also going to cause another shadow and a bit of enclosure as well. So there, I've got that. We've got the background here. I don't know what color's in the background, but I'm going to treat it as if she's sitting with a forest behind her. So a bit of the forest light's probably going to be quite green, not too light, and just going to hit it with a bit of that, and they're just let me choose a really bright and just rim that a bit. So there, that part has been done. I don't have to worry about that part. Now I can go back to the tag fill, click, drag, choose the tag layer, tag the next bunch of parts. So I see a bit of a situation evolving. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to exit the tag right now. I got to go back to my tag layer. I'm going to have to turn off my fill layer. Here we are, back to the tag layer, and I'm going to choose the fill tool. I'm going to use the front as my source. I'm going to pick that orange right there. I'm going to have to tag that, and let's see what color. I think I'll tag, oops. Now let me get the cutter out and just catch that little bit there. Okay, so the tag layer has been fixed, so I don't have to worry about that anymore. Alright, now I'm going to get the rest of this jacket pocket. So enter the tag fill mode, click, drag, tag the top pocket, and then exit tag. Click once again. Now I'm on the fill mode. It puts me back to my paintbrush, and now I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to grab this shadowed color here and just put in the shadowed color right there. Take the darkened color and there, just get that a little bit. Take the lit color and continue the stroke from up here. There. And I'm going to try and make sure that it doesn't, that these lines, see that? I have to bump it. I have to bump one line. I have to stagger the fill just a bit, and I can make that a little bit brighter, maybe near the top, and maybe here at the top edge here I can make that a little bit brighter as well. Maybe a little bit brighter on this edge. Let me just hit that. Choose the darker. Maybe I'll just grab that little bit there and no, I'll use the darker one and just put a bit of a shadow in there. In fact, I'm going to take this dark color right here, and I'm going to use that on the lower lip of the jacket, right here. Now, I know, whoops, let me get rid of that. I think it's probably better if it stays simple. Okay, there. I'm just going to have that one little orange bit right there. There's no need to overdo things. I know that when there's going to be more orange here, and that orange is going to reflect back onto the lower lip there. So I'm going to just take my brush and just hit it just a tiny bit. Make it a little bit lighter than the other side. So now that I've done that, back to the tag fill, click, drag the tag, tag that spot, exit tag, click, drag, and I'm back again. So I'm going to continue that around. I'm going to use that slightly brighter color to light that up. I got to choose my shadow. Hang on, I forgot to fill in my shadow, so a little bit bad on my part. And then I'm going to take the shadow color again once more, and I'm going to cast the shadow like that. So now the pocket casts the shadow. Take the darker color. You're going to have a bit of enclosure again. So I'm going to cast, and that's this fine little touch there. There, that's going to do what I need it to do. So now it's it's a lot of modeling that's going on. All right, back to tagging. Okay, so I'm going to hit my tag fill once more. I've gotten all those areas. So I'm going to click, drag. I'm going to tag the sleeves. I'm just going to tag them both. Maybe I'll tag the underside of the jacket at the same time. I can tag that. I can tag multiple parts. And you can see the reason why I made sure that no two colors were right next to each other. So I can tag all these multiple parts, exit the tag, choose the shadowed color. I can fill that. I can fill that. The boots are usually the same material as the jacket, so I can hit those areas. The pant legs, though, these are more of a canvas, so I'm going to have to use something that's a little bit more desaturated, maybe a little bit closer to the green side of things. Hit those. So I'm hitting those with the shadowed color. I'll hit the interior of that surface in there. Okay, and I guess I'm ready to rock again. So once again, taking this, in the interior of that, I'm going to use a different color on the inside of this jacket. I think I'll put in a flock lining on it. So I'll probably use a light. It'll probably be a whitish flock lining. Use a dark gray, and again we have the enclosure. In fact, I'm going to have to darken that. Enclosure is a term that I use if you look at your hand, right, and your hand is wide open, then there's a lot of light allowed. But the more you close your hand up, the more the inside of the hand starts to darken. So that's what I call enclosure. It's just that simple property of enclosed spaces tending to cut off light. So anytime you have two objects that come very close to one another, it tends to cut off the light entering inside. So that results in the enclosure effect. So I'm going to just light up this sleeve here. Oops. I have to watch out that I don't run over and nick this little area here. See, I've accidentally, so I have to undo my stroke. That's why I try to keep two different colors, two of the same colors apart from each other as much as possible, because it just makes my job a lot easier, so I don't have to wind up avoiding and tippy-toeing around things. We got the boot here, so I'm gonna, let's see, this area here is all in shadow, so I leave it alone. This side of the boot, I can only put a rim, but I'm not going to put an actual hard shadow on it. Oh right, I'm going to go back to my tag fill, tag that part there, exit the tag, click, drag, choose that color again, this bounce light color. I'm going to, there we are. Just again, I'm going to rim it just a bit. and rim it right there as well. So there, I have that. And also this area here is looking really flat, so I'm going to take this darker color here. Actually, maybe not so much a darker, well, yeah. I'm going to take the darker color. We have more enclosure occurring in here. It's going to be light here. Let's take that dark color again and really put it in that little spot there. Maybe that'll be lighter. But I think I can probably put a bit of enclosure on that. Doesn't seem to want to be darker though. I think because the light is coming left and right, it's going to have to take just a small amount of, that's the trick. You needed just a bit of spill light from outside to spill over and round this out. What else can I do? You notice how slowly I'm working. That's because I'm trying to do this with the fewest number of brush strokes. I'm taking this really, it's like a game of chess. And you don't want to speed things up. You know, you're going to take as much time as it takes to do the job right. And by not making mistakes, you wind up spending less of your time fixing things up and wondering what it is that you want. So, no, I leave it alone. If you start adding things and it doesn't wind up making it look better, you stop and you put it back and you leave it alone. Sometimes that's what I do. So back to the tag fill. I'm going to grab that, tag that, exit the tag. Anytime you see things that just look a little off, you know, you fix them immediately as soon as you notice that there's something wrong. Not so much that there's not enough detail, but that there's an area here that is missing its enclosure, and I will go in and set it right. So I'm going to just darken that a bit. Okay, that works better. Back to the tag fill, click, drag, tag, exit the tag, click, drag, and we're back. Again, I'm going to have to darken this area just a bit. There. Okay. Now I'm ready to go back to the tag fill. Tag, 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 tag. What else? Exit my tag, click, drag. Let's put that back. I guess a bit of light is going to hit this, so I'm going to choose something that's there we are. Maybe it does actually catch a bit of direct sunlight, so I'm going to need something even brighter. How far over is it going to go? Okay, that's about as far as I want it to go. But I do want to have a bit of a soft gradient transition. And there we are. You know, I use fairly large brushes, and being able to tag things allows me to use the large brushes without worrying about, you know, going in and messing up another area which I've already painted. And tagging lets me focus on small areas, and it makes the drawing look a lot more, I don't know, how do you say? It looks a lot simpler. You know, it doesn't look like there's a lot of strokes everywhere. It looks, you actually have to go through extra effort to make it look this simple and less labored. Ironic, really. Okay. What else? Okay, I've done that area. I've got that area. Oh, right. I'm going to go and shadow that. I'm going to take an even darker version of that color and line that and just fade back. whoops, I have to avoid, running into that. So yeah, partway through I ran through that. So again, that just emphasizes the importance of making sure that your similar colors, or just don't tag areas that are similar to one, that are right next to each other. Okay, so that looks like it worked. Back to tagging. Tag fill, click, drag. I'm going to tag that. And exit tag, because I can't think of anything else at the moment. Let's see. Right. So this thing here, I'm going to grab that color there. I'm going to light this a lot brighter, because you can see that there's this is the side that's facing up, other side's facing down. Use an even lighter color, and I'm going to go from right to left and apply additional pressure as I move from right to left to make the transition go, dark to light, right? So I'm going right to left. So in this case, when I lay down these strokes, I go right to left and I increase pressure as I move. I'm going to go back here, tag that, exit the tag, click, drag. Yeah, I think I was a little overzealous with the shading, so I'm going to just go and leave that alone. Take that. There. That's what I like, is that it doesn't, I don't feel that I can't go in there and obliterate some old work. If I don't like how it's going, then I can just paint right over it and start over. Get a new transition entirely. That's what keeps it looking fresh. So tag that, exit the tag, click, drag. Every material requires a different sort of color scheme and approach. Take the shadow color. Now we've got the jacket, so the jacket's going to cast a shadow like that. Just going to cut that off. And I have to do the same thing over here on this one. Exit the tag, grab that, and same deal. I'm going to cut off. There we are. That cuts that off. So now we have that. Back to tag fill. Let's tag this cuff, exit the tag, click, drag. Take the light color, hit it like that. Okay, exit tag. Oops, I need to tag fill again. Let's hit that. Click, drag, tag that. Exit tag, click, drag. There we are. Now this area, on the other hand, this area is going to be lit. It's going to catch a fair bit of light. Take the shadow color, cast the shadow from the cuff. There. And so be it. And then I guess I'll probably shade that just a bit more. Next up, let's see, tag fill, click, drag, tag, exit tag, click, drag. I want the soles to be made of, like a white rubber. So I'll leave that alone. That one looks like it's done. I think I'll probably take a slightly darker color and just, again, same thing. Low pressure to high pressure, low pressure, high pressure. This is how I get light gradients. So low pressure, high pressure. I went in reverse. That's how I get my gradients. Okay, next. Tag fill. Tag, 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 exit tag, click, drag, done. grab all that, hit those, take the lighter color. I'm going to light only the bottom, not the top ridge, but I will go in and rim the top. Take the green, hit the bottom of that. Whoops, only want to hit the top of that, and then choose that bright color and just, whoops, let's do it manually, and then just rim it. There. So I'm done with that. Yeah. Okay, so what's next? The hands I have not done yet. That boot I have not done yet. It's just a laborious process. It takes time. I hope it gives you the idea of what it is that I go through every time I fill one of these. We have this pant leg is caught in the light. That's where the sunlight is hitting. Gets maybe a little bit brighter up here, so I go from left to right. Take the shadowed color and shade like that. Back to tag fill, click tag that as well. Exit the tag, click drag, because I had a bit of the color from the pants spilling over in there. Take the dark enclosed color and apply the large brush going bottom to top, low pressure to high pressure. There, that gets that. We'll take this light color here, high pressure on just the rim. It's the rim backlight. Okay. What else? Bottom looks like it's good. Jacket looks like it's pretty good. Got to deal with this region. Hands have to deal with. So, tag fill, click, drag. Let's do the hands. Hands. Got to tag that little spot there as well. Exit tag, click, drag. So, doing this tagging stuff really makes things a lot easier. It just turns it into a methodical process, and I don't have to fiddle with little areas. Let's see, I think I want to use something that's a little bit red, but very desaturated. That's the shadow color. Maybe that's still a bit too saturated. We're in the twilight zone over here. Okay, use the darker color. Deal with the, even more desaturated, and deal with the enclosure. Again, more enclosure and shading. Take this is the lit color. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose the glow color. This is the Subsurface Scattering, the glow color. And I'm only going to put the subsurface scatter right here on the transition and on the top surfaces. I'm not going to avoid the top surfaces in any way. And let's trim that back where the shadow hits. I'll trim that as well where the shadow hits. Now I can take my fully lit colors and start hitting these areas here where the sunlight. I'm going to darken that a bit, take the fully lit color again, strike all the areas where the sunlight is directly hitting, even lighter color, and hit that. Hit that too, hit that. Hit it like you mean it. Let's get that glow once more. I feel like there could be just a bit more subsurface scattering. There, and maybe here where I can even put in a hint of white on just a few spots. Now I can use something that's even darker and put in a little bit of enclosure shadow in here in here, in here. I can put looks. There we are. So you need to be able to handle both highlights and you need to be able to handle enclosure. There's a bit of closure here off the knuckles. It's going to help that surface turn. I can probably take that color and I'm just going to, sometimes I just grab a color and paint it over a large area if things are getting too blotchy. So I can just grab one color and paint it over that area to smooth things out. But it looks like it's turning out okay. Yeah, let's... Okay, so that's been dealt with. Actually, on second thought, I'm going to go and just obliterate that plane and that plane right there because of the direction that the sunlight's hitting. I think those areas simply don't receive any. Let's see if that helps it at all. Okay, now I can hit here and here. Good. Back to the tag fill. Tag that, exit the tag, and choose my top layer, grab this yellow. I need an even brighter yellow. Hit the top of that. Take the enclosure. I think there's going to be a little bit of enclosure in there. Okay, that looks like it worked. That other hand is fine. I can leave that alone because it's in shadow. Let me get back to the tag fill. I'm going to tag these pant legs again, exit the tag. Oh, right, no. Hang on, wait a second here. I'm going to have to do them one at a time, so I'm going to tag this one, exit the tag, grab the, I need another enclosure color, and just go left to right with the pressure. There. Tag this one, exit the tag. That's right. It's because the reason why I'm spending so much time with these areas is because these areas are colored very flatly when they shouldn't be. Because they are falling into areas of enclosure, I have to get that in there. Otherwise, it will read flatly and in a situation when it is not flat. Back to the tag fill. Back to tag. This little inside bit there, exit the tag, tag that. I'm going to use this dark color. Or actually, hang on, wait, no, I'm going to use, yeah, I'm going to use that dark color there. What else do we have going all over this thing? Make my way up, tag the fill, and tag both of these. In fact, all three pieces, because they're part of the same surface. They're merely divided. So this is how you deal with fragmented surfaces. You have to look at these different fragments and see them as one surface. Exit the tag, click, drag, choose that shadowed color, paint that in there, choose a lit color, leave it alone because it's really not lit. It's at an angle that simply won't catch light. Knowing when to leave something alone is as important as knowing when you have to change something. There. And for the enclosure color, only a bit. Maybe I'm just going to take this big brush and just put 1, 2. I got to be really careful with this. Maybe a smaller brush. Oh right, we've got enclosure with the hair, so I'm justified in putting. Well, let's use an even darker color. I'm justified in putting there against the hair. It's a hair shadow, and that also means that when I do a tag fill on the jacket, exit the tag there. Means I must also put an enclosure on here. Okay, now the face, hair. Back to the tag fill, click, drag. Let's tag all the parts of the face. I haven't been avoiding it, I just simply been working from the bottom up. Exit tag, click, drag. Let's choose that shadowed face color. There, get all that in there. Grab the lit face. Hit that there. Small amount of subsurface scattering light here. Shadowed color from the hair. So that area is going to fall into shadow. Maybe a small bit here on the face, and then leave the rest alone. What else? I'm going to need an enclosure color on this, so enclosure where the hair shadows things and moves up into the scalp. I'm going to go up here into the ear. Let's see, I'm going to use gotta control my brush size. There. Trying to get this in as few strokes as possible. That's right. Okay. And then I can. Seems like a kind of a finicky piece, so I'm gonna just get that to curl around, and then take a bit of the green, get a bit of a rim light on that, and then feels kind of like a dangerous area, so I'm going to get out of here as soon as possible. Yeah, let's leave that alone. Okay, next up, tag fill, click drag, tag, exit tag, click drag. Eyeballs. Eyeballs are white, yes, but in shadow, what color are they? So let's take that, take the white. I'm going to shade the area that's facing the sun. I'm going to just a little bit there. Take my shadow color and cast shadow from the eyelid onto the eye. It's what's going to give these eyes some dimension. Alright. Choose my... No. There. What I'm doing is I'm using a lighter color as I get closer to the rim. Darker colors out here. That's... No, let me undo that. Okay. That's better. Take the same dark color that I've been using. Oops, that's still too bright. Apply a bit in there. Bit of white here. Bit of white here for the specular. There, now we've got, a bit of a reflection. And because of the hair, I'm going to break the reflection like that. Alright. I'm going to use a darker enclosure color. I'm going to use that on the eyelid. The eyelid's going to cast a shadow on the eyeball. And also in here, you're going to get a bit of a... I'm going to do the same for this one. Alright, now I really don't like this junction here because it's all kind of jaggy and nasty. So I'm going to grab that eye color and just, there, soften that. I might even take a lighter color here and rim that. I don't even have to tag things. I'm going to lighten it as I get towards the bottom, I'm going to darken it as I move towards the top. You can't do this kind of stuff unless you understand the geometry of what it is you're shading. Actually, hang on, I'm still in the eyeball layer. But I mean, you have to understand, you know, how the surfaces are modeled to be able to make these sort of judgments. Tag fill, click, drag, tag the face, tag. No, I need to. I messed up. Okay, exit tag, click, drag. I need to darken some of these spots. I also need a small amount of light. These little tiny details, they seem really small, but they really do make all the difference. This area like this, I'm going to go and enhance the saturation. And here I'm also going to pull that into the red zone, and maybe I need a bit more of a, and just flush the cheek a bit. Okay, I'm back. I'm just going to go and take those down a bit. Alright, I think I can leave that alone for now. That's looking passable. Tag fill, click, drag, tag the blue hair on the front, exit the tag, click, drag. So this whole thing, I'm going to treat this as a half shell, kind of like a bowl. The hair was supposed to be kind of a black. It's black hair, but, well, brown really. Just very, very dark brown. So I'm going to shade. I should use it. You know, large brushes give you softer gradients. And let me grab that color again. And okay, so the areas that are exposed to light, I want to I think I just want to rim this a bit. And I'm going to take that green again, and I'm just going to apply the softest. I don't have to rim these areas because they're like, I don't have to put that hard rim on them because they're further away. Well, maybe just a tiny bit. Okay, and I leave that alone. Take the white and just put a specular stripe. Another specular stripe over here where the sunlight is striking. Go back to, let's see, tag fill, click, drag, tag, tag the big top part. Maybe not, maybe I'll tag this instead. Yeah, and exit tag, click, drag. Since that area is in broad sunlight, I'm going to light that up a fair bit. I might even go and choose a brighter orange, and there. Because we're looking at the underside of that hair, it becomes much more, you're going to get a lot more subsurface scattering and transparency pass through. On this side of the hair, though, you don't get that because we're looking on the outside. We're looking at the top side of the hair. On this side, we're on the underside, so I have to do that. And then take that dark hair. Let's do the same thing. Take that greenish tint and just up here is enclosure. Down here is where it catches the back bounce. You got to watch out where that ear is. That ear is gonna catch some of that. Now I take this, take an even darker color, and then I'm gonna work the enclosure back here where the ponytail attaches. Finally, I can go tag fill, click, drag, tag, exit tag, click, drag, and I can take that same Let's take this dark shadowed color, put that on here, take this brown. Now, I have a number of ways of doing transitions. I can either do transitions left to right like this, or I can do it in multiple banded transition. And that means having to strike, with multiple passes over the same region like this. This gets you a band. This is good. Banding is good for sharp changes in surface, and gradual changes are a lot easier to do when you just do a single pass, large stroke single pass going up in a direction. In this case, because it's such a rounded object, I'm going to do a bit of a, this is a cross between the two. There we are. And I'm going to just put a little bit of that down there. A bit of that green. Bounce the light in the back. Take the black. Enclosure. Oh, I'm going to have to be very careful how I do this. Okay, there, 2 touches. Leave it alone. Take the white. Need a specular stripe again. And maybe another one. And I gotta follow the specular stripes of down there. Okay. Let me double up this specular stripe. Just need a darker, stronger brush. Okay, so I think that is about it. Oh right, I haven't touched any of the trims. So back to the tag fill, click, drag. There. I grab all the trims in just one click. Exit the tag. Click, drag. Okay, now let's see colors I want over this this rain jacket. So I think, let's see, what color do I want on that? It can be yellow and red, yellow and black. I gotta think materials. Maybe yellow and green. I don't think I have any green on this person. Yellow and green seem to be nice and close together on the spectrum. They don't clash. Yeah, why not? I don't see why not. Let's see how, well, let's try it out. See how it looks. How does that look? It doesn't look too bad. Let's try the yellow and red, or the yellow and orange maybe. Yeah, but that kind of matches a little too much with the hair. No, I think maybe I can go with what about desaturated colors? You don't always have to pick a color. Sometimes you can pick a shade. Right? White is surprisingly not bad. So I think I might go with that. I'll go with white. I'm gonna just find the shadow areas and hit those there. I can probably go and hit that. Hit that, hit that, hit that there. I only have to hit the top side, but I leave the bottom alone. And same thing up here, I can hit that. Watch the shadows and, don't hit any areas that don't deserve it. Well, I think I can afford to spare a little bit of white down there. No, you know what? It's better off without it. Test it. If it doesn't work, take it off. That's good. I'm going to take a bit of that dark and just fix that little region in there. The rest of it is looking okay. I think I'll just put a little bit of light color in there. And I guess I'm done. Yeah, it looks like it's pretty much done. Okay, good. Done. Back to toolbar, turn that off. Make a new image layer. Drag this to the top. Bring up my FX panel. Bin. Import. I'm going to import this this bin. So yeah, that's going to go and it's going to apply all these post effects to this drawing. So let's see what it does. There's this Why is... Oh, I know why. It's, I gotta click my tag fill, exit tag. There, now nothing is selected. There, I had to make sure that nothing was selected. So this is the background alpha filler. It just pastes a big... it's just a gradient. Just puts a gradient over everything. Then I have a layer merger. So this layer merger, what this is just image source tool. It just takes everything down below and it sticks it on top. A line work reduction. So this is gonna take some of those big fat chunky lines and it's gonna take them down, you know, by 1 pixel. This is optional. A bloom, and finally color adjustment, and that's gonna So some things are color adjustments a little bit too strong, so I can just take the gamma back up a pixel or a few percent, and take the contrast back down. You know, you adjust it until it tastes about right. Let's see what happens if I take off my line work reduction. What do I like better? This. The lines are kind of nice and chunky, but I think I like it with them off. Yeah, so there we are. It's that's what the post-process glows. I can apply my effects stack. There, now I can close the effects. So now I have a layer where everything is comped together and it has the nice, you know, these photographic glows. So that is, I wonder if I can zoom in on it. No, I guess not. I'll just show you from here. I'll close these things. Let me put all this crap away. And I can stretch my timeline back onto the second monitor. I use a dual display. Normally that thing's not that close. Okay, and then yeah, there you go. That's the that's my process for coloring drawings. Okay, so thanks for watching.